Hello and welcome, all the losers, freaks, and social outcasts, to yet another episode of the E-CEL podcast, your source for all things e-punk and Incel core. I'm your host, Ofigs, and I thank you for tuning in. The very first thing I'd like to announce to everyone is that the podcast is now officially on Spotify. This episode and all of the previous ones should be available there under the E-CEL podcast account. So go check us out there. We've got links in the description. We finally decided to move them there as well as on YouTube. Obviously, we're going to keep the YouTube streams going, but we figured that'll make for a better listening experience for everybody. So make sure you check the podcast out there as well. Please make sure you're subscribed to us here on YouTube and following us on Twitter at E-CEL Network. And of course, check out our channel on BitChute to see any clips of the show we may have to cut out to fit YouTube's guidelines. I just actually uploaded a clip there from Maniac's interview that was pretty funny. I had been kind of lazy with getting it onto there, but it's on there now, so please be sure to check that out. And also, obviously, like I just said, check us out on Spotify. Also, check out our Discord server. It's been steadily growing and many people are enjoying it. They're saying it's the next big thing, and everybody who's anyone is in that server, so be sure to check that out. Get the join link in the description below. Also, kind of minor news, but I was banned from Twitter this morning without any warning whatsoever, and I didn't even break any rules. Just goes to show that incels are truly the most oppressed minority in the history of the entire world. I will be making another one soon, not that anybody gives a shit, but I just really love Twitter, and I was getting really good at it. I was getting like lots of likes on my tweets and engagement, but I fucking hate it, man. Okay, anyways. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Before we get into the news, though, I'd like to bring on my co-host. He's been on this podcast before, but on the other side of the table. You may know him for being one of the most listened to artists in the scene. His name is so recognizable, he really doesn't need any introduction. So please welcome everybody, H4rtbrkr, back onto the show. Welcome back, Hart. Nice to have you.
Hey, dude. Hey, man, how's it going? Good to be here. I appreciate the shout out, the hype up.
Yeah, of course, man. No, it's great to have you on the show again. Obviously, we never really got a chance to get to know you personally because the interview we did with you was also featuring Crust and Fried and Neat. So, no, it's good to be a little more one-on-one sort of thing here.
Yeah, big fan of the podcast.
Yeah, hopefully eventually you'll be able to come back for like a personal interview. We've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah.
But you'd want it to coincide with like a big drop, right?
Yeah. When I do the press run for the album, I'll definitely come back for an interview right before it drops. That'd be cool.
All right. Sweet, dude. Yeah, that'll be sick. But speaking of albums, though, I have to ask, everyone, I'm sure, wants to know, you were obviously one of the guys who's supposed to be on the now infamous Farmyard comp, and it never actually ended up making it to release. And in fact, right after the release date was missed, it seems like there was a public falling out between all four of you.
It was really only one of us. Well, it was a falling out, I guess, of one member. The other three of us are still friends, but yeah, it never came out.
Would you like to walk us through from when you realized it wasn't going to come out to the preceding fallout that happened?
Yeah. Well, I actually didn't know that it wasn't going to come out. I was entirely under the impression that this album was still going to be a thing. It had been like maybe a few days before it was actually supposed to release, where I had learned from someone else on the comp that Fried had let them know that he had canceled it. And, he had some choice words to say on exactly why he canceled it. To quote him, he said he was not feeling charitable. So, I think what he was implying was that it was charity to do an album with us. He was beginning to really pick up steam with the whole TikTok thing. And I think maybe he just like went Hollywood or something. And then he canceled the release. He called it charity. And then he just outright stopped talking to all of us altogether. So I don't know exactly what he said about it. I think he said on a live that it was creative differences, which I don't think is exactly true, because we were pretty much all on board entirely. He really pulled the rug out from underneath us. But yeah, I don't know. I guess we're not like friends anymore. I haven't spoken to him in like months.
Wow, and that's the case for all of you, Neat and Crust also?
Yeah, well, we're us two, like the three of us are still friends. We talk like pretty much daily, but we're not friends with, or I guess I don't know. I can't speak for them, but they don't talk to Fried either. I know they don't speak to him, but I don't know how they are in terms of friendship status. But yeah, no,
Hmm.
I'm. I guess he's definitely not my friend here. I believe he blocked me on Discord actually, and he unfollowed me on like every social media, and he called us verbatim bitch ass pussies on Twitter. So
Jeez.
there's always that, you know. I really don't know what we did, but yeah. So there's that update.
So it's just a total cutoff of you guys, huh?
Yeah, unfortunately. I have like not really a concrete idea on what exactly caused that. I think it was probably a combination of me having one disagreement with him, combined with him like blowing up. I think maybe he just didn't think it was worth it. I don't know. I think not to like defame his name or anything, but I think things tend to set him off fairly easily, and I think I think I think that pissed him off.
Okay. So it's crazy to think that it just all comes out of left field like this. It's too bad because everybody was looking forward to it. Obviously, you guys all seem to be looking forward to it. You did the interview here to promote it and all that.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's just too bad. But it's good to finally know at least what happened. It seems like this comp may end up living with dropout boys in terms of infamy.
yeah. Unfortunately, joining the ranks of comps that never fucking came out. MSG5,
Yeah.
Dropout Boys,
No?
Farmyard. You know what I mean? It's all lost to the ether. Unfortunately.
Well, it's good at least to finally get a solid answer on what happened. Now you guys had mentioned that you guys all had 2 songs each made for that album, and I know that I believe Neat released his, and Crust I think also put his out. What about yours? Are your 2 songs going to be coming out?
You know, I feel like I kind of put myself in an awkward position there because I my 2 songs, well, one of them I just didn't think was like well, the first song I referenced Farmyard by name, and I was like, it was kind of like a hype up. It was just like the anthem of the album, kind of. So I was like, oh, shout out Farmyard, shout out like my friends, you know what I mean? And so obviously you can't put that out once like the fallout has occurred, and once the album got canceled, it'd be like a very awkward release. And my
Mm,
second song just wasn't like, I kind of rushed it. I didn't like how it sounded, so I thought like, you know, if my first song in the album was good and my second one was like a little bit mid, I was like, you know, at least the first will carry. But now I can't really like offer it as a package deal at this point. So I just kind of just I uploaded one of them on my second account on SoundCloud, but
hmm.
it's I don't know. They're pretty much gone.
Have you considered rewording them to be, listenable on their own, or?
I mean, I guess theoretically I could, but it's kind of just like it's tainted now. You know what I mean? Like the passion behind it is kind of gone. So I would definitely prefer to just write something new. I mean, I have been, but that's for another time.
And just one last question on this whole comp album business. Was there ever any maybe possible discussion of you, Neat, Crust, and Edgemaster just doing the comp just yourselves?
No, not really, because well, number one, it was like Fried's idea from the start. So we just kind of like were like, oh yeah, that's cool, we'll do it. And we were down for it once it was proposed, but none of us would have like done that through our own merit because putting a comp together like for Spotify is a pain in the ass, especially if there's like more than a few people, yada yada yada. But
Hmm.
Edgemaster, to no offense to him, but he wasn't even supposed to be on it. He was like a last minute addition from Fried, and I had like a disagreement about it.
Oh,
But
really?
you know, yeah, because the whole ethos of the thing was supposed to be like the Big Four. I mean, the song was called Big Four, so
Oh.
yeah, it was like supposed to be this whole Big Four like hype, like fucking basketball team kind of thing, and then
Yeah.
he randomly threw Edgemaster in there. No offense to him, because I like Edgemaster's music. I think he's a cool dude, but it's like it felt a little like it felt kind of random. It was like adding a fucking bench player to like the best basketball team. Okay, that's like I'm sounding like an asshole. I don't know. No,
Well,
you know
I mean,
like,
you're right
it
though.
just
I
felt
mean,
odd.
because it was only you four on the interview. It was only you four
Right.
really who were doing most of the hype for the album.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that Edgemaster didn't promote it also, but you know, it was
No, but it was kind of
clearly.
obvious that he was a little bit of a last minute addition, which no offense to him, but I was just kind of like, why? Like this is supposed to be our thing.
It just seems like such a strange development in the history of this comp. So
Right.
Fried comes up with the idea. He sets it up together. He goes through the effort of making 2 songs for it. One of which he said is now scrapped. He's only released Bet the Farm on it, which was going to be on the album.
Hmm.
But the second song he has admitted that he just deleted. So he makes these songs. He sets up the comp. Then he randomly adds another guy like towards the tail end of this thing before it's set to release.
But yeah.
And then he just goes ahead and deletes all of it anyways. Maybe he felt like it wasn't going to be a very good comp. Is that a possibility? How confident were Neat and Crust in their songs that they made for it?
Well, I know Crust was like working on his for a bit, and Neat had finished his first. I think I don't know if Neat was too confident in the quality of his songs, and I don't know how Crust felt about his exactly, but I thought his were good. I mean, the songs he put out recently were the ones that were going to be on it, and those songs are pretty fucking cash. So like, I think I don't know. In Fried's words on Twitter, I think he said, "I'll make a new comp when people learn how to make good music again." So I think maybe he just assumed that our songs were just shitty or bad or something, and like he didn't want to like do charity work by making like a comp with like shit or something. I don't know, but I mean, admittedly, like I kind of did not put my best foot forward on that thing anyway, so it's probably for the best that it didn't come out. Like I really like I made my second song for the album like 2 days before the deadline. So I
Wow.
honestly, it was honestly kind of my fault. I really procrastinated on it. I was just like doing other shit. Like I was working on my own album, and then that kind of happened. So I put it to the side, and then I don't know, the timelines just didn't line up properly, and I had like things going on in real life at the time, so I couldn't kind of make the deadline as quickly as I wanted to. I didn't have as much time to really put something dope on there. But
Sure.
I thought Big Four was a like pretty good song. I mean, the other song it was called Pain 6. It was not like that great, but I thought Big Four was pretty good. But I mean, he thought it was good too. He told me that it was great, but I don't know. It doesn't matter now because that shit is gone to the wind, if you will. Yeah, but, you know, these things happen, I guess.
Yeah. Well, all right. Yeah, like I said, just good to know all about that. But what's the status of your album then? So you say that you want to come back on to do a promotion for it with this interview, but it seems to have been put on hiatus to an extent.
You know, it's like I know I kind of have become Boy Who Cried album at this point because there had probably been about like maybe 10 or so instances where I was like album this month, and then the month ended and I just kind of like disappeared off Instagram for a bit to like make people forget, and I did the same thing like 9 other times, and it's never like I'm trying to run a scheme here. It's always the same stupid shit where I promise something and then I procrastinate and then I start to work on it, but then I don't like how it sounds and I just restart and I do the same thing over and over and over. But this summer I'd been releasing a lot more songs more consistently, and I've been more active on pretty much everything, and you know the numbers are doing well and so on and so forth. But I feel like right now August, like this is probably the closest I've been since I first announced it like in fall last year that I've actually been this close to finishing an album. I mean, I'll probably it honestly it's kind of a sorry excuse for an album when you consider that there's only 6 songs I have planned when most are at least like
Wow.
8, 9, 10. But you know, I think that's kind of my brand: short songs, short albums, whatever. But I have 3 done, so I really only need to finish 3 more, and hopefully I can throw this out by late this month or early next month. But I'll definitely put out a single beforehand. So yeah, the status on the album is that it's actually for once in my fucking life nearing completion. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Sweet. Do you have a name for it that you'd like to tell anybody, or?
Uh, you know, I do, but I kind of think it's cringe, so I'm gonna avoid from saying it out loud.
All right,
Um,
for sure. Understandable.
you'll see when it comes out.
This sounds good. We'll be looking forward to it. Anyway, so we're going to jump into our news segment here then. We've only got two real big pieces of news today. The first one is more of an announcement than it is news, but Hart, you can give your reaction to it and I'll give mine. The first big piece is that this is like an announcement for everybody. There's going to be a live show in Virginia in the town of Evington, and it's going to be called Trailer Trash Rock and Roll Party. This is going to be held on Saturday, the 24th of this month. And it's a live show being put on by some people in the scene. The people who are going to be performing there are Doc Chubkist, Zaril, Zarbamba, Low Watermark, and there's also going to be Bessarion there, and then there's a local band that's also performing called Two to a Room. Kiki, the artist, was expected to perform there, but unfortunately he is banned from all of America right now, so he's not gonna be there. But that will be an event, a live event that will be happening on the 24th. So if you are in the area, please check that out. Like I said, it's in Virginia at a town called Evington. And then also, I'm going to make the announcement that Southern Scum, a big live event that I think has been going on for 1 or 2 years now. Do you know, Hart?
Southern Scum, I think that's the first one must have happened 2022, so 2 years ago, I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think this is the third year of it. It's a big live event that some guys host. I think they try to do it every year. It's going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. It's going to be a 2-night show on August 30th and 31st. The first night is going to be at the Shantytown Pub, and the second night is going to be at the Justice Pub. First night, all acoustic that's going to be playing are going to be Endweiser, Zaril, Bessarion, Zarbamba, and then also Chuddy Buddy, a guy who is actually on the E-CEL Motel competition. He's managed to get on there too. And then the second night are going to be full shows with real music. It's going to be Zarbamba, Bessarion, Zaril, and a guy named Mind Control Delete. So that's going to be Jacksonville, Florida, August 30th and the 31st. So if you want any more info on any of these, you can check out any of these guys' Twitter accounts. They've all been promoting it recently. So we're going to be looking forward to seeing what happens there. But yeah, Hart, you've been sort of snickering at the announcement. You got
God, what a lineup, man! Very. Look, what a sorry. I feel. God, what a lineup, folks!
Well, what do you mean by that? What's
some of Earth's mightiest musicians, man. All I gotta, let me not be coy. I mean, they suck, right? I mean, we can admit that. I'll say it right here and right now on the podcast. I'll announce it to everyone on Earth. This is not a new development. If you know me, if you know the group that I am a part of, but yeah, Southern Scum sucks, and everyone that performs there sucks, and their music is bad, and it's going to be terrible. And I can't wait to hear the absolute vile trash that will come out of there.
Oh, come on. Isn't it? Come on. What, you really?
Sarvama's performing, correct?
Zarbamba is going to be performing. Yes, he's going to be there.
Okay, well, Zar, I actually, I have had beef with him in the past. It was mostly a one-sided beef, I'm being entirely honest. But and by that I mean me not liking him. But look, I've spoken to him recently. He's a nice guy. He's a cool dude, and he's obviously talented, right? He's obviously a talented musician. I just don't like his music. I don't like the sound because I don't kind of like the genre he's inspired by to begin with. But I don't actually think he's like a talentless hack or anything. He'll probably be the best act there. Actually, no, not even probably. 100% he'll be the best act there. I mean, he's obviously a lot more talented than anyone that's there. But
he did win the E-CEL Motel competition, didn't he?
Yeah, well, smarmy fuck, you know what I mean? But either way, he's got talent, so he'll definitely be a highlight of it. But everyone else on that lineup is just holy coal, you know what I mean? That's just absolutely atrocious. But I don't know if Southern Scum has never really had a lineup for being packed with heavy hitters to begin with. I think it's more so a glorified opportunity to take photos in a Denny's or some shit. But yeah, that's my opinion on that. But Zarbamba, if you ever in California, let me know. Let's hang out.
I will say that I don't know. I mean, Low Watermark's going to be at this show in Virginia. Don't you like Low Watermark's music?
Oh, he's performing?
Yeah, he's going to be at the show in Virginia at the Trailer Trash Rock and Roll Party is what it's called on the Saturday the 24th.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Watermark's cool, and he's a good friend of mine. I've known him for years. Yeah, no, that'll be cool. I mean, he'll definitely be the highlight wherever he is. I mean, his friends are not that great at music, so
I will say that Zaril,
Oh, geez.
people, the only time I ever hear his name brought up is when it's in reference to live events. I've not really seen him on any Discord server. I mean, maybe I just don't run in his circles or anything, but
Yeah, he's kind of a relic of the past, honestly. Zaril was like a pretty, I wouldn't say prominent, I would say prevalent. He was a prevalent figure in the scene from like 2020 to like 2021. That was when, Instacore was still a thriving, bustling metropolis, great empire, and there's a bunch of places to hang out. He was just a poster, pretty much. I mean, he made music, but that's not really what he was known for. He was just kind of known for being a poster, hanging out with like certain groups. And I didn't even like back in the day, like actually him and I were like friends. We used to hang out sometimes on Discord. But then once like the live show thing started happening, he kind of got some notoriety for just being there and being such like a loud personality.
hmm.
But I don't think a lot of people like him, mainly because he smells awful. He has a stupid mustache. He's ugly and he looks dumb and he has this terrible haircut and his music is fucking awful. So yeah, there's always that. But I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I talk a lot of shit about the guy, but I'm pretty afraid of him. I feel like if I ever saw him in real life, he'd fucking stab me. So Zeril, if you're hearing this, I want you to disregard anything bad I've ever said about you. Don't hurt me, please.
All right. And, I will say, I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of people who seem to agree with you on many of your opinions that you have
Oh, of course.
regarding this thing, because obviously the people participating in these shows, they themselves have drawn a hard line in the sand when it comes to their separation from the scene.
Right.
Czar seems to have recently he's been more friendly. He obviously participated in the E-CEL comp. I think he's a great artist. I think all the guys participating are great artists. I've listened to Bassaria. I'll admit I have not really heard Zarel.
And don't look into it, man.
Okay. But they're all I'm looking forward to at least seeing the recordings. Obviously I'm not going to be there, but it'll be cool. But yeah, they've kind of done it to themselves. They've created some what do you call it? Anonymity with the scene,
Right.
or some tension with the scene, so they sort of bring it on themselves when they get hate for this sort of stuff. But I'm always I'm a sucker for some good live content. I'm sure I'm sure we're gonna see some fun pictures. And
This guy, our host, folks, huh? Get a load of this guy.
I gotta support the scene. That's what I do. Okay.
Audience at home, boo this guy. Throw tomatoes in his comment section.
All right. Yeah.
Audience, can we kill this guy?
Okay. Yeah.
No,
but
I get you. You're a bash. You're the spokesperson for the scene at the moment. You do the. You know what I mean? You got to be a neutral party. I understand.
yeah. I mean, it is what has to happen, and plus, I don't want to. I'd like to interview some of these guys.
That'd be good for you. Yeah, no worries. I should preface right now, just for everyone at home. My beefs are not Ofigs. He does not co-sign the things that I say. I am a individual party. He is quite literally a very nice guy. I have not a hateful bone in his body. He does not co-sign my behavior.
You know what would be well, actually, here, there's actually that it leads naturally into our next piece of news, which isn't really news, but it is interesting. So obviously we have the E-CEL podcast Discord server, which is sort of growing, and we have in there a few big artists who have joined, such as, namely, Cameron Flodge and Popkill, and then obviously yourself, Hart. And I was wondering if you would like to talk a little bit about how there have been some mended bridges, is what I've heard.
Well, I guess I kind of always had like a bit of a beef with Popkill for a few years since I had like met him. I mean, we were friends when we met, but we kind of had a falling out over differences on friend groups and whatnot, and that kind of coincided with him being friends with Cam. And I was always just kind of, I don't know, I really disliked them too for a pretty long time. But I recently spoke to them in that server, and I wouldn't know if we exactly like sung Kumbaya and held hands or anything, but I think we definitely kind of talked over some shit about the past that I wasn't entirely aware of and cleared some things up. So I don't think there's as much of a hostility between us anymore. I would say that we're probably, I mean, cool to a degree, but I don't know if I would say that we're friends at all. But yeah, I don't know.
I'm still confused on their status with the scene because Cameron has said that he's like out of it or that he hates Incelcore and
I don't know if he's I that's something I don't understand. I mean, he does say that. I think he's gone on record saying the scene's stupid and sucks, yet he spends a considerable amount of time in it, like trolling and
I
talking
mean,
to
he's one of
others
the
and
biggest posters in that server in more than one way, if you know what I mean.
yeah. Maniac's there too, but yeah, I don't know. I guess he said that he was trying to clear up some things or something, so maybe that's why he was talking so much. But I don't know. First, for somebody who claims to be so over the scene and yada yada yada, he seems to interact with it quite frequently. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's hard not to. It's hard. It's a fun. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. It's a fun community. I've always
It used
had
to be.
like ever since I started getting really involved with it. It's there's a lot of cool guys around here, so it sucks when people are always. Seems like it's every other week now. Somebody's disavowing the scene. It's just like, what the hell are we doing?
Oh, that
here?
shit's dumb. I've always been against that. Like whenever, that happened in 2020 with the whole Incel versus Bedroom Punk wars and the fucking Wizard Tower versus Incel wars and the E-Punk versus Incel war. I mean, there's been like, I mean, I'm a fucking decorated veteran at this point, dude. I've been through it so many times. There's a lot of times where people will just get very concerned about their careers and where they'll go, and they will try to be like super intensive on optics and how does this make me look, and then they'll disavow Incelcore, Pacific Purgatory. You know what I mean? They'll do stuff like that, and I don't know. It was so dumb because it was always career suicide. Anytime you disavowed Incelcore and tried to do your own thing, it was a completely career suicide. I mean, Incelcore is the largest fan base. You can't just try to start your own new thing, yada yada yada. Like it doesn't work like that. You know what I mean? And I think people wrongfully like label Incelcore as like industry poison. Like you can never possibly get big off that. Like I don't know. It's if you think about it in its essence, the scene is pretty much just. Incelcore isn't even really a genre. It's more so a label that just fits a certain like thematics and whatnot. You're a sad, angry, pissed guy with failures with women. I mean, there's it ranges from like the classic kind of more Weezer shooter inspired shit, and then like me and my like pop punk stuff or death text like emo metalcore shit. Like honestly, you can blow up in the scene. I mean, Fried clearly did it. Shooter clearly did it. You can definitely make enough off the scene to live. You know what I mean? Plus we're in an age where things are so DIY and individual now. Like you really don't need a huge label backing you. I think people get too concerned about that, but as long as you're not forming the Fourth Reich or anything, like you should be cool. You know what I mean? Like
very true. And I think hopefully the whole goal of this podcast was to sort of capture that sense of community that's since been lost, as you've said, since the times of like 2021, 2022.
The days of yore. Yeah. The good old days.
So hopefully we'll see a resurgence in the future with more community. But and then obviously these live shows and stuff also help with things like that. But anyways, so enough talking about the days of yore and times gone by. It's time to get to the whole reason we're here. So the interview today is going to be with the man who won second place in the highly regarded and much praised E-CEL Motel competition, which concluded July 1st. And having his own episode on the podcast was his prize. So, incels and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to bring on the man who has finally made his big break on the scene and shocked so many with his impressive musical talent. Even just recently, featuring on a demo with H4rtbrkr here, it's Loser64. Welcome to the podcast, Loser. Good to have you here.
Yeah, hey, I'm Loser64. I think.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, yeah, am I the smallest guy you've had on the show so far, I think?
It's close. Our first interview was a clean break, obviously, because we were just starting out, but he was a good personality for a sort of first interview.
Right.
He, though, I think when we interviewed him, had a little over 100 followers, and you've actually gained some since.
Right.
I believe, the thing is, you kind of came out of nowhere with your song, Night Shift Wagecore.
Yeah, I had like 80 followers at the time of making that song.
And now you're over 130, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've done very good. Even though you were on this Misatocore album, this seems to have been, like, I called it your big break. I just said that because you've gotten a lot of big followers.
Yeah, for sure.
Heartbreaker was obviously a big fan of your song, and it got a repost by Fried by Fluoride, who even left a comment under it and said, "This is the best one on the album."
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw
dude,
that.
that song was amazing, dude. Dude, I was so disappointed that that SAR won because I felt like that song really deserved to win. That was like, I don't know, hearing that was crazy. I hadn't heard someone like new in a while that like really came out swinging like that. I started a chain in the comments saying we were robbed. You know,
Yeah, I saw that.
I had to support my boy, but yeah, seeing that was cool. That definitely put like Loser on the map for me. I had actually seen him on SoundCloud before when he liked a song of mine, but you see so many like accounts just like your shit, you kind of just disregard, or I'm not the flex, you just kind of disregard that.
I just get so many likes. It's crazy.
It's just you just kind of, you know what I mean. Sometimes you dismiss it, but then I was like, oh, it's this guy, and it really gave me like the opportunity to listen to his stuff, which is very good. It co-sign.
Yeah, no, it's been really cool. I really appreciate like all the work you've done to like build up the scene, I guess, because it's been great for me. It's done a lot for other artists too. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, no, that comp came out exactly as I hoped it would. There was
Yeah,
a bunch of small guys who were topping the charts on the leaderboards there. You obviously, then even second place was this guy named Yoshi. He literally has
Yeah.
2 songs on his account right now, but he did great too. Then Czar being the winner, it was close.
Yeah.
Your song had more likes than his at some points during the competition.
Yeah, the
Probably.
first few days I was like just barely ahead at some points, but near the end I sort of like trailed behind by like over 10 likes, so it was kind of over at that point.
It's still both of them got like over 100, 180. I think your song actually right now has more likes.
Right, yeah. It's like way more likes than I've ever got on any of my songs.
Yeah, so no, it all went great. I was actually wanting to know, apart from the engagement on that one song, have you seen any more success on your own account from this competition?
Yeah, I mean there's obviously like the follower bump that we talked about, but yeah, in terms of streams, just on my other songs, I feel like it's been going up by a lot recently after the
You
competition.
gotta post again, dude.
Yeah, I do. I've got something that's pretty close to completion right now. Hopefully by the time this episode's out, I'll have a new song.
And good, you post like like once every 4 months.
Yeah. No, I definitely need to post more.
You've got that heart schedule, dude.
Yeah.
Well, hey, genius takes time, right?
True,
Yeah.
true.
It actually leads us into my next question about the competition. How long did you work on your song for it, and how did you find out about the competition?
Well, I was already following your podcast because Not the Proper Tired went on there. I think that's how I found out about it actually, because he was talking about how he came on the show. But yeah, I just saw the announcement video on your YouTube, and I thought it'd be a cool thing to do. Actually, I wasn't anticipating really like winning it all. I thought like maybe at best I would get like third place and I could have my name on the monitor. But yeah, it's I'm glad I decided to do it because it's been really good.
Totally, yeah, you really knocked it out of the park, man.
It was actually because I was on Misatocore Volume 2 as well, so it was like right after I finished my song for that I started working on the E-CEL song.
So how long did it take you exactly? Because I'm just gonna say your upload or your submission was done like the day of
Right,
the deadline.
Yeah, I can't let's see. I don't really remember exactly how long it took. I know it was like at least a few days that I spent like recording and putting it all together. But yeah, I kind of do that with all my songs where I spend a lot of time. I'm kind of neurotic about it. Like I really want it to be perfect, so I spend a ton of time mixing and like stressing about, oh, does this sound all right? But yeah, I was pretty close to the deadline there.
Yeah, a little bit. Was it based on any real life experiences? Obviously, the catchy hook of it says, "Yeah, who the hell gets Wendys at 1 a.m.," which is a great line.
It's autobiographical. I did work the Wendys closing shift for a good few months, and it kind of sucked.
Did you witness people getting Wendy's at 1 a.m. that often?
Well, yeah, there's like you'd think it would like slow down after midnight, but yeah, there's just still people coming in like pretty frequently through the drive-through.
Brutal,
Yeah.
brutal existence.
Yeah, it just really sucked.
Yeah, I've in the past, since that song came out, I've tried to get Wendy's at 1 a.m. for the meme of it so I could post on Instagram. But it's like I can't drag myself to that level quite.
I was on it. That was something I was kind of like stressing about. I didn't know if it was like kind of cringe to name drop Wendy's specifically or not, but yeah, people seem to really like that line.
That was cool. It like kind of the call out by name was like, I don't know. It's like, I think sometimes you don't expect to like actually hear like the name of the fucking like a specific restaurant. Like you didn't say like fast food. You specifically said Wendy's, and I was like that was funny. It was cool. That song's fucking great, dude.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what were your opinions on the competition as a whole? By the way, I know you said that you enjoyed participating, but did you like listen to the other songs? And do you have any idea if you would be on the next one? We haven't like announced it. There's no real plans yet, but it'll probably be there. There will be another one.
Yeah. No, I've been kind of wondering that because I don't know if it would be like kind of lame to like try again since I didn't get first place last time. If I like come back again,
Sure.
I mean, yeah, I'm still undecided on that, I guess.
Gotcha. Yeah, you'll have to feel it out. Maybe if the prize is like $2,000.
Yeah.
No, I can't afford that, but we'll see. We'll do something a lot. I have a feeling the next competition is going to be a lot different than how this one went, because this one,
yeah,
it was like the perfect level of engagement in terms of who submitted. And since it really popped off in a big way, like there's a lot of big names who reposted it and engaged with it. I have a feeling that if we do another one, there's going to be a lot of people, so we're going to have to structure it a lot differently. It's probably going to be different, but we'll see. That's still a ways off.
Yeah, no, it should be cool. One thing I liked is on your Twitter, which I think it just got banned, didn't it? I heard something about that.
Yes, my Twitter was deleted. Damn it.
But when it was up there, you had that like meme you posted where it's like the MK Ultra support group died like 2022 or whatever it was, and then like the E-CEL motel, you're like, welcome back MK Ultra support group.
Yeah, or welcome back Incel Core. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's it kind of is, honestly, because like all the big attention it's gotten from big guys in the scene and everything.
Totally. No, yeah.
I think we've kind of been needing something like this. So cool.
Yeah, definitely. No, that was the whole intention of it, was to finally give us. We talked about it on H4rtbrkr's interview, or the group interview there, that
Right.
there's like we need another wave of artists, because we haven't really gotten one. So hopefully this will usher in that next wave, which you seem to be riding right at the top. So congratulations, man.
Yeah, well, thank you.
But that actually leads me to my next question. How long exactly have you been participating, or at least been a part of or connected to Incel Core or e-punk in general?
In terms of like being connected to the scene, I think it's been about probably over 2 years now. I really like got into Incel Core and like started listening to it around beginning of 2022, I think it was. It's kind of like a lame normie way of getting into the scene, but I saw the Turkey Tom video on Virgin Fest.
No way, you're one of the Turkey Tom guys.
Wow,
really?
that's actually shocking. I forgot that was like a thing.
But yeah, that's how I found out about the whole thing, because I saw the Negative XP song like back in 2020 or whatever, when it was like going viral. And
yeah.
I saw that I got recommended that one YouTube video with all the e-girls and
the classic edit. Yeah.
Right, yeah. But yeah, I didn't know like about the actual scene surrounding that whole thing until like 2 years later. Yeah, so I was following the whole scene for about a year, and then it was about a year ago at this point where I started actually like making my own songs and posting stuff. So I was sort of lurking for a while.
And were your songs made for the scene, or were you making music before you learned about it?
No, I started making music because I wanted to make Incel Core. Like I've learned all my music production stuff like specifically for this.
Wow.
For the cause.
Yeah, because I didn't make any music before this. Yeah, but like the first song I have up on SoundCloud, that's basically where I started.
Well, when did you start learning guitar?
That was let me think. It's been like 2.5 years now. I've been playing. It was in like November 2021, I think, is when I started playing guitar. So that was it was a little bit before I learned about the scene. I just started playing guitar because I wanted to like play Blink songs and stuff. But
You're pretty good, dude. So, I mean,
Yeah.
for the like, it's like 2.5 years.
yeah,
You're pretty good for like. I mean, a lot of the times when people learn how to make music specifically for Incelcore, you can tell like it's a bit rushed and kind of like shitty because they have like no experience. But
yeah.
2 years playing guitar, like I wasn't that good at 2 years in. You know what I mean? So, it's I would not have been able to play that fucking Wagecore riff at 2 years in. But yeah, no, that's sick, dude.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say, Loser, your music sounds very similar to Heartbreaker, and actually, he was your first follow on your SoundCloud account. Is
Yeah.
he like your main inspiration?
Yeah, pretty much. Because like when I started listening to Incelcore and really like exploring different artists in the scene, none of it was like really connecting with me that much. I mean, there was the odd song every now and then that I thought was cool, but it wasn't like totally the style of music that I was into. But then I heard Heartbreaker, and he does the like cool pop punk stuff that I'm really into. So that was a pretty big inspiration to me, is like seeing that someone could do that type of music that I wanted to do within this scene.
Just so you know, I'm blushing right now.
Okay. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no,
I mean, here's kind of awkward. I try not to like suck you off too much, but
no, I know.
you're a
That's
big inspiration.
that actually does mean a lot. I made a tweet about it once. I'm not trying to be like egotistical at all, but I did call myself the pop punk martyr of Incelcore because to be entirely honest with you, like that shit was not cool when I started making music, and I kind of got a lot of hate for it because it didn't kind of fit the more generalized sound that made up Incelcore at the time.
Right.
And I think over time I kind of started to get more and more people to like it because they realized these songs could be catchy, and pop punk didn't have to just be like like the mainstream like Blink shit they heard and like years ago. Yeah, I mean, I love Blink, but but I kind of showed that you can kind of have a bit more like grit to it, I guess, do your own unique thing. And Tech also made like the metalcore shit, so I think over time people in the scene kind of opened their eyes more to different styles, and seeing like the growth of like the pop punk guys who are kind of not, I'm not trying to dick suck myself, but it's kind of apparent sometimes when you can tell that some of these newer guys are like inspired by me. I feel like such a douche for saying that, but you can tell, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
They kind of have like the similar stylings or song structure, or doing the whole pop punk thing with the whole like honest lyrics. Like I get, it's like, it's really nice to see though, because I really want to like try to cultivate more artists like that. It's the music I like to listen to. So seeing Loser64, I think that's really why I was like so into his shit, because I was like, damn, like this is something that like I would want to write. Like sounded really cool. So yeah, I mean, it's cool to see more people like that. And Loser64 is probably one of the best that I've heard in that new like in the hardcore era. Okay, I'm being,
I will say it seems like the scene is it's like leaning more into the pop punk sort of style recently, whereas before, and maybe you disagree, Hart, but it seems like in the earlier days it was like more like classic punk or like heavy punk,
yeah.
And now like grunge.
It was kind of Weezer inspired a lot.
Yeah, Weezer
everyone's
sort
just
of
trying to sound like Weezer.
But now it's really moving into like a lighter sort of, like more poppy type of tone with all of the songs that I've been hearing, a lot of the new ones. I don't know if you guys disagree.
Yeah.
No, for sure. A lot of the newer guys I've been hearing kind of have that like pop punk thing going on, or at least like a bit more of a like emo, I guess, kind of vibe. I for sure have been seeing that with newer dudes, which is really cool because, like you said, the earlier stuff was a lot more like derivative of Weezer and Negative XP and kind of copying that style. It's kind of a meme, the fucking kick snare, kick snare. It's the thing. You know what I mean? Like it was very, and not to say that music isn't good, because obviously I'm a big Incelcore fan. Ophig's reference. But yeah, that stuff is cool sounding, but I definitely thought it'd be nice to bring something new to the table. And now we're seeing a resurgence, or I guess a more like prevalent rise of that. Yeah, exactly. A rise of that, and in the newer generation of guys, which is super cool to see because it shows a lot of potential for what the scene's going to become with the whole podcasting and these new guys that are really good and the competition. I feel like it's really cultivating for once a period of growth after like 2 years of a fucking radiated wasteland. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So yeah, it's cool to see.
Definitely. Yeah. Loser, you found the scene at like the worst time, 2022. That was right at
Right,
crest of when it was all sort of falling apart. I'm guessing, were you there like right as Up to the Wolves got banned?
Yeah, I was I'd been following the scene for a few months at that point. I was like I really loved Up to the Wolves. It's like really the biggest blow the scene has taken, the fact that he got taken down.
Mhm.
But I remember when like he made a music video for Heartbreaker's song, and I thought that was so cool because like I thought he was gonna start doing more Heartbreaker songs because that's something I was gonna hope he would be doing. But then he got like taken down almost immediately after that one. So unfortunate.
It's too bad. You know, you don't have to glaze heart just because he's here. You know, it's
you know, no, don't stop, bro. Don't stop. Don't stop. You know, no, yeah, keep going, bro. No, I mean, I appreciate it. You know, I was the same way when I first got in this scene. You know, some people call it glazing, but you know, I was a big like Anhero and Neat and Fried fanboy. I was always kind of like, not to say that Loser's a fanboy or anything, but you know, sometimes you just gotta, when you're newer, you give respect, you know, the cool guy.
I know. I'm just being mean, but
no, he's dick eating.
I was the same way when I did the interview with you, Neat, Crust, and Fried, because I'd literally been listening to all four of you for like since 2020 at that point, you know, like so 4 years, and being able to talk with all you guys was like a real like, wow, I guess I'll just retire after this moment, you know?
Yeah, you're welcome.
yeah, so that was really cool.
Yeah, you're lucky we blessed you with our friend. I'm kidding.
But no,
it's cool though. Like, it was cool to do that.
And that's a cool part of the scene is guys, it's a lot easier than people would think to interact with these guys who you love their stuff, you know, you respect their stuff.
Yeah, sometimes that's for better or for worse. How easy it is to get to contact them.
True. Sometimes, you know, never meet your heroes.
Yeah. It'd be nicer sometimes if there's a bit of a larger degree of separation there, because fans can be kind of brutal to interact with at times. But usually they're cool.
Hey, I gotta wrangle the fan base myself. You know, I'm sort of the voice of the scene.
Yeah, dude, you're a fucking martyr, dude. I don't know how you do that. You're sure you gotta wrangle those retards together. I mean, I spent some time there. It's not as bad as I thought, but still, sometimes like there's some fucking characters.
Yeah, and you know, there's gonna be characters in every scene, but in this one, there's definitely a lot more than you would think. You know? But actually, I was wanting to ask you, Loser. We're speaking about these big names you've interacted with. I want to know, do you have any like friends that you've made on the scene, like other, like maybe smaller artists that you interact with a lot, or you know, before this whole competition, before you started seeing this rise in success?
Yeah. I honestly, there's not like a ton of people that I talk to. I think that's just like kind of how I am. I sort of keep to myself. But not the proper attire. He's one I've sort of been friends with a while. It was like one of the first songs I posted. Like he liked it, and so I got the notification for that and like checked out his stuff and thought it was cool. Because he was sort of doing the same like pop punk type of stuff I was, like obviously Blink inspired. So yeah, I thought it was cool, and we sort of got to know each other through that. Because we both started out at pretty much the same time too. So we've yeah,
definitely. You guys have sort of had success at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Is he the reason that you got on Misatocore Volume 2?
Yeah, he is actually. Well, it's kind of funny. There was like this comp album that I was invited to before that, and I was like all in on that. I thought it would be cool, but then it just sort of like fell apart, and the guy who was organizing it just sort of like stopped saying anything. So I thought that was kind of lame. So then Origami invited me on Misatocore 2, and I think I kind of ignored it because I thought it would like I'd sort of been burned on comp albums. But then I heard I heard Not the Proper Attire talking about it, and so I'm like, oh shoot, I should probably like get on that.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I was sort of a last minute addition to that. But yeah, I'm glad I made it.
Yeah, it's cool. Your songs were good on there. Like your one song on there was like one of my top 5 for that comp, in my opinion. So you did a good job.
Yeah, thank you. Not to brag, but it's on SoundCloud at least. It's the most streamed song of the album.
Yeah, his shit was the best. I'll put it out there right now. You know, I'll glaze back for a moment. Someone else is a fucking amazing song. You know, you're so out of reach. Sorry, that song's great though.
Well, very good. I also just had one more question about the whole Misatocore thing. Maybe there's not much here, but since you said you were sort of last minute, but were you witness to any of the Npobu drama that happened with that whole thing?
I wasn't like super involved with it. I mean, I'm in the Misatocore server they have for it, so I just saw the notification that he gave when like all the stuff came out about him, and he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to drop him from the comp. It was like right after the comp came out too, so I thought that was kind of lame because like we're all excited because we have our album out, and then there's a this pedophile on there.
Sort of taints the name a little
bit. The shit was kind of gnarly.
Plus, it didn't help that he had one of the best songs.
Yeah, that was unfortunate because I commented on his song like, man, this is good stuff. This is catchy. And then like the next day, the stuff comes out, so I'm like, oh
that's
shit,
brutal,
dude.
Like,
delete my comment.
I mean, his shit was probably one of the most in-depth and concrete set of allegations. Later turned proof that I'd ever seen. It was actually so unbelievably unrefutable. There wasn't like a hint of. Yeah, there was not a hint of like something. Yeah, you couldn't miss it. Like there was no bit of like maybe someone misunderstood that. Now he did that shit.
And now he's gone back and tagged all his songs he had on that album as #Cunnycore.
Yeah, you know,
not really trying to beat the allegations there. I don't know.
Him and I were friends for a while too, which is kind of the best. We had a collab song together, which is like,
no way.
I think maybe my track record is probably not the greatest, but he was like, I don't know. He was actually one of the first artists I heard about when I came into the scene because of his song "Racist Online." But yeah, we made a song together, but I had a chronic cough at the time. Some weird, like, I don't know, it was really bad, so I couldn't like talk for more than a few seconds without like having a coughing fit. So we tried to record a song together, but maybe it was divine intervention or something, but I couldn't make something sound good because I couldn't hit notes because my throat was fucked up and I kept coughing, and I was like, I'm sorry, man, like I don't think we can use this. And he was like, yeah, no problem. And then he gets outed for that shit, and I'm like, holy fuck, I think maybe my body was trying to save me.
Yeah, jeez. Wow. Well, yeah, it's an unfortunate situation. I also wanted to know, this is maybe just for me, but I wanted to know, was there any big reactions to the whole review that we did sort of on the last podcast with Not the Proper Attire about Misatocore Volume 2?
Oh yeah, there wasn't too much drama. There was just like a few joking comments like, oh no, he said he didn't like it, it's over. But yeah, no, I don't think anyone took it too harshly.
Okay, good. Yeah, I did like the album. I did like the album, so I hope it didn't come off too harsh. I know Origami left a comment, and I was like, crap, I pissed him off. But, no, it was a good comp. I liked it. So a bunch of those songs are in my playlist I listened to, so it's still cool.
Yeah.
But moving on then, was Misatocore your first comp appearance? You said that you had one other that you might have gotten involved in that you mentioned. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a while ago, and it was a lot of like smaller people in the scene. Not the Proper Attire was actually part of that one as well. Well, there's honestly not much to talk about because it was just sort of like we got invited to a group chat, and that was about it. Honestly, there wasn't very much organization.
Would you care to say who was organizing it?
I honestly forget. It was a guy I didn't know. I just thought it would be cool to be on a comp album.
Okay, well, all right. So Misatocore was your first like big.
Yeah, first like real thing.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, and then obviously you went on E-CEL, which was the big break,
Right,
right?
yeah, big break.
Well, very cool. I did want to come back a little bit to you being in Incel core and all that. I want to know a little more about yourself. Are you an Incel?
Yeah, I'd consider myself an incel. It feels kind of lame to say out loud, but
Hey, you're amongst friends. You're amongst friends on the scene.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta be company, dude.
yeah,
But it's it seems like there's a lot of the artists. I mean, it's kind of a meme that only Fakecels make incel core music.
oh right.
So it's like interesting when you have these. It seems like to me, interacting with small artists, that a lot of them actually are like myself, incels and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's
I guess it's when you get bigger.
right, yeah,
But
Music
no,
Max.
still a true self.
Yeah, I mean, fucking Fakecels on the scene, absolutely play. Kick them out. All those Fakecels, dirty and disgusting.
Right.
Starting with a clean break, man. Kill that
Yeah,
guy.
fucking like folks, for the audience at home, I don't know if you guys know this, but a clean break, one of the most egregious Fakecels in the scene. I say we start a witch hunt. Great guy, but unfortunately we have to kill the dude, you know what I mean? Great dude, but I hear rumors that Loser has girls all over him, but this is
No,
this
no.
is true.
I gotta say, Hart, on your on the Farmyard interview you did, there was that one part
dude.
where you're like, "Yeah, we're all
I don't-
fake cells. We all just have like
No,
70
I
girls."
No,
That hit my heart.
I don't. No, dude,
Oh, you guys
it's
were
not.
cool.
You know what? It's not true. Honestly. So some people, look, look, look. I can't speak for the whole cast. Well, I mean, neat. He's, yeah. Me. Let's talk about me. Okay, I'm not a fake cell. Look, I retain my KHHV status, and I am not. Okay, let's move on. I'm nervous. I'm not a fake. Let's move on.
All right. So, well, glad that the waters are cleared up there. Then.
Yeah.
But Loser specifically, then where I was going with that question was, a lot of your songs, they're like love songs in a way. I mean, some of them are like, sort of have like a retro style thing to them. But some of your songs are like love songs. So how does that correlate?
That's just me LARPing, because this whole music thing is basically a cope because I didn't get a girlfriend in high school, and yeah, I think I'm basically just never gonna live that down. And
Okay, me either. I didn't have one.
none of it's true. I'm just yeah.
Well, hey, that's the whole reason I started this podcast, is one giant cope. So I'm right there with you. We can cope together here, so that's all right. But well, all right, just wanted to sort of clear that up. And then also about like I said, your songs some of them are like they got a retro aesthetic. You have one album out, like a self-published album on your account, and it's very retro styled. I mean, you have songs like Dig Dug on there, or you talk about Pole Position, which is a very nerdy Mario speedrunning strat. Are you actually like a retro gamer, or is that all LARP also?
No, I'm really into old video games. That's the whole like 64 thing, is because I really like the Nintendo 64.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, just the old video game aesthetic is that's sort of what I decided to go for with my music, because I don't know, I just think it's cool. I think I like that old era of gaming. Everything was sort of, simpler. I think it has like a sort of clunky charm to it almost, like especially those old 3D games where everything's all blocky and really low res. It's
no, totally,
it's cool. I feel like it kind of fits with Incel core too, because a lot of the music is like kind of crappy lo-fi production, but
right,
yeah, it's got soul to it.
Definitely. So I'm guessing you were a fan of Negative XP's Gamer 3 album.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, really?
Gamer 1 and 2 I liked, but yeah.
Gamer 3,
we can say it. Gamer 3 wasn't good. We can
yeah,
say that.
I hated Gamer 3.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, even when it came out, it was like, whoa, like people were very divisive on that. It was, put it kindly, a bundle of garbage. But yeah,
yeah, true. This is very
There's
true.
like I like Torpor, his acoustic song on that, but that's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's like what everybody says too. They're like, "Hey, we can all agree Torpor was good." Okay, it's like,
Yeah, I don't know what the MIDI piano shit was all about. That was like some weird.
Yeah, that was kind of weird too.
He's like on some like Machiavellian. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there. I don't have no clue what the fuck is going on with that. Some medieval aesthetic.
I think it was Watermark who said it best when he said it's like when your favorite artist has a Dungeon Synth side project, but you put it on your main. You know, like don't put it on the main account, bro. You got to make a secondary and post it there. You know.
Yeah, I at least have the audacity to do that. You know what I mean? I have the I do that all the time. I do that all, you know, people don't look into the hyperpop stuff.
Yeah, true. And then also, or well, actually, I was just gonna say, Loser, you're. I agree that the whole aesthetic does fit, and I always find it refreshing when an artist has like an aesthetic that they stick to and run with. It's I don't know, it just adds like a whole another level of character to a guy's stuff, right? And you obviously are going for this whole retro thing. I did want to know what's with the Luigi. You know, you're not a Mario guy, not a big Mario fan.
No. Well, Luigi's just my guy. So story behind that, I guess. I've sort of identified with Luigi for a while. It was like I was 11 or 12, and I got a 3DS, and one of the games I got for that was Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and I played that, and just like Luigi's character in that game, it just really stuck with me because he's like. He's like goofy and awkward, and I don't know. I kind of related, honestly.
Sure,
but
he's Italian.
I'm not Italian. I will not. I can't accept that.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to hear. But okay, well, cool. Are you by any chance a younger brother? Because my younger brother would always be stuck with Luigi whenever we played anything.
I'm not actually. I'm the oldest of my siblings. But
really? Wow.
I don't know. I relate to Luigi.
Well, very cool. It helps that he has the big L on his forehead, like Loser, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, very cool. We've mostly, I mean, I'm just going to be honest, you being a smaller artist and you're fairly new to your participation in the scene, there's not a dearth of stuff to go in with you.
Yeah, I was kind of nervous about that because I feel like there's not a lot to work with.
No, I mean, it's
I apologize.
No. It's great to like learn about you a little more. You get to talk about yourself and your music. I don't know. Do you have any like grooming drama that you'd like to out yourself for?
No, I don't talk to anyone, honestly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
right. Of course.
You know what I mean? I think we could orchestrate, dude. Dude, if Loser if Loser came with allegations, I'd be 0 for 3, dude. I don't think I can take that, dude. I really don't think I can take that kind of thing again.
Yeah.
I'll say what though, fucking Loser's the whole Luigi thing I thought was like pretty cool too. I didn't want to interrupt him when he was saying it, but I too was a bit of a, well, I'll say Mario Cell as in the franchise, but I also always liked Luigi more because he was like, I don't know, Mario also aesthetically, he's like fat and retarded, and I don't know, I couldn't get that. I don't think he's way too confident, you know what I mean? He saves the princess, he gets the bitches. Luigi was always kind of like a shy little twerp, and he was, he got Daisy, he was,
right. Mario's basically like the Chad that gets all this undeserved attention, and Luigi's
exactly
like the shy True Cell cool guy.
Exactly. But you need to find your Daisy, dude. We gotta make that happen, dude.
Yeah.
We gotta find your Princess Daisy. That would change things, dude. Actually, no, we can't, because then you stop making music.
Right.
You'd go fucking fake on us, dude. We actually gotta to the way that we're gonna boost your career is we're gonna try to keep you away from women as much as possible. We're gonna be like BlackRock, pay bitches not to talk to you.
No, I think I want to still make music, even if I do eventually have any romantic success. Yeah. Because I genuinely like doing it. It's not. I know I said it's just a cope, but I do genuinely enjoy doing it.
Well, that's good, and I mean that's never stopped anybody else in the scene. So
right. I always thought it was so lame when guys get a girlfriend and then they just stop making music.
Yeah, that shit's super good.
And it's because their girlfriend's like, should you really be making this music if it's called Incelcore?
Yeah.
It's
that shit's fucking dude.
It makes me kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, dude, I've seen so many heroes fall to the trap, dude. I swear, every single time, either they denounce it because they get a girlfriend, where it's like, I mean, if they don't denounce it, then they'll be like, oh, I got a girlfriend, there's no point, I got what I'm here for, I can't make Incelcore, yada yada, and they quit. Or it's like they get a girlfriend and they just get so distracted with their new life with their girlfriend, and they have like all these things they're doing now with them that they just kind of Incelcore falls to the side. I've seen that happen. Slater kind of had that happen to him. I know he had a girlfriend, I think he got like married or something, and now he like is like doing it hard. I mean, I watched it happen to Hard Christ, he got married too or some shit. Like, you see these guys get girlfriends and then their passion starts to fade away, and then their girlfriend takes the center stage, and then the music falls behind. And I swear, every single time that I'm not saying that I do or ever have done this, but any time that I would have hypothetically ever been talking to a woman, I noticed production of music definitely does slow down. I think your mind goes somewhere else, which is so. Listen, folks, not that I would ever do this or have ever done this, but avoid the women as much as you can until you're famous.
Kills your creativity. You can't have that.
Exactly.
They steal your vril,
Yeah.
But well, we've covered really everything that I want to cover. Heartbreaker, do you have anything more that you'd like to get into with Loser64 here before we call it?
I do want to ask, definitely. Do you think maybe one of these days you want to get Wendys at 1 a.m. with me?
No.
Would you be down to do that? No.
Absolutely not.
Okay, well, I guess that's all I have.
I honestly haven't eaten at Wendy's since I stopped working there. I'm kind of turned off from it in general.
Really?
It was kind of, I don't know. It's, for some reason, it's like it feels like eating sludge. Like
What?
It feels like ingesting like sludge.
Honestly,
Wendy's
in
is
terms
like
of
the
fast food,
best.
yeah, it's one of the better ones. It's not like awful food. I just don't want to get it.
No, it's not that it tastes bad. It's just like after I eat it, it feels like I've like straight up ingested like poisonous sludge, like sewer sludge into my body. Like, it tastes great, but then after that feeling of having like heavy Wendy's sitting in your gut, it's like, oh fuck, like what I just do to myself, dude.
Oh my
that's fair.
gosh.
But,
You're just a kid. Wait until you man up like me, and then it's like you'll be able to eat toxic waste for breakfast.
yeah. I'm actually younger than Loser64, if we can put that in there, so everyone
Yeah,
can know
you're
that
younger than like everyone, so really it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
No, it just means that even though I'm like the young prince, this guy, he's nothing. He's small fries.
True.
No, I'm kidding. Closing statement, something serious I will say. Loser, you got great potential. I love the shit you're doing. I definitely want to see you make more stuff. I for sure want to do like a legit song with you one of these days. I think you got a bright future ahead of you. You just got to upload more consistently. That's a big
Yeah,
part of
for
it.
sure.
You gotta. I mean, I was looking at your upload. It's like 1 month, 2 month, 4, 7, 11. Like we gotta pump those numbers up a stretch. You know what I mean? But keep doing what you're doing. Figs. Very very proud of you, dude. So keep it going.
Yeah, well, thank you.
We'll be watching your career with great interest. For
Yeah,
sure.
exactly right.
I appreciate it.
But well, that's going to conclude our interview then, Loser, unless you have any questions for either of us.
Let's see.
Don't ask if I'm gay.
I was no, I'm not gonna ask that. I already know.
Okay.
I guess I was watching some of your other interviews in preparation for this, and I think like live shows was something you talk about a lot with people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess what do you think of that? Because I've always honestly, live shows seem like really cool to me. Like, making music is sort of like a means to an end. Like, you make music so that you can perform it live. So yeah. What do you think about that?
100%. I agree with that.
Well, we actually at the top of the show, before you got in here, talked about some live shows, and Hart had some very
Right.
Nice words.
very kind words on his stance on the whole thing. I personally, I think live shows are like, I wouldn't say I really see it as a means to an end to perform live, but then again, I don't play an instrument, so my opinion is going to be different. And let me just speak from my experiences just being a fan of the scene, which I that's basically all I am. I mean, I say I make music, but it's like they're stupid parodies. I steal the instrumentals. I don't know what a chord shape is. So
we love you, Figs.
Thank
We
you.
love that. Yeah. Give yourself more credit, man.
As a fan of the scene, though, I will say that I've never been like compelled to go to live anything, even when I listen to like popular punk bands, like when Blink did their return tour. They played near me at one point, and I just didn't feel any desire to go because it's like, why go when I can listen to them on Spotify?
I mean, they suck now, though. If you know what I mean. Like,
Well, they don't. I just saw them like a month or two ago. I thought it was really cool, but maybe that's just because I'm like a super fan.
So maybe it's just me, but I've never been super enthralled by the idea of live shows. I think they're cool, especially like with the scene. Like if you get like 100, guys from Incel Core who love the scene together to play live, I think that'd just be an awesome time. But I wouldn't think it's like the next step or anything.
No, well, yeah, I mean, the whole scene has always been kind of localized to the internet. That's kind of, I mean, I've talked about this with you guys before, but there's obviously been a long history with online loyalists versus live show people causing a lot of drama. But I don't like want to posture it as if I'm like anti like live shows. Actually, like I agree with what Loser says. I mean, I think every guitarist, musician, you know what I mean. I feel like in your head you always you'll do that thing where you stand up with your guitar, you have the guitar strap on, you're pretending you're playing live, or you're listening to someone else's song and like pretending you're playing it in front of a crowd. Like 100%, it's definitely, to me at least, I always wanted to like do something live and play a show live. I just think there's kind of the only issue I really have with live shows in the scene is that they're usually orchestrated not by the people who are actually make up like the core of what is Incel Core. Like you never see the big guys, the big leagues of the genre. You never see them doing these shows. It's always like D-listers and like select friend groups, people that aren't very popular. And I'm like, it doesn't really entice me, because it's like, why would I drag myself to a show full of people that can hardly play their instruments? They don't have good songs I want to hear live. I'm not interested in them at all. Like, and it's just also the actual like putting together of those shows are usually very mediocre. I mean, one joke that's kind of been a running gag in Incel Core is that no one plays drums. So it's like you do a live show and it's like, okay, great, we have fucking 10 guitarists. Who's going to play drums? You know what I mean? So, obviously the setup, I guess, for how most Incel Core songs are made is you would need a rhythm guitarist, a guy that plays lead, a bassist, and a drummer, which is already like, that's like 4 people. And nobody plays drums. There's like, I don't think there's been a single drummer in this scene. I know some people can, and I'll put that like very lightly, play the drums, but honestly, you see some of these live shows and it's one dude just playing the same beat the whole time while the guy's playing it like off time and out of key, and he's just shrieking. It doesn't sound good. It's like,
well, I think that's what it is for these ones that are coming up like Southern Scum, isn't it? Isn't it Doc Chubkiss, the one who plays drums, or is that?
Yeah, but is he a fucking good drummer? I mean, that guy can't crack like a fucking 500 plays on a song. I mean, he sucks. But it's, I don't know, dude. I guess, to not fucking go on a tangent, all I'm saying is that I'm not against live shows. I actually really want live shows, and it's every musician's dream, I feel like, to play live and have a crowd sing their songs back to them. It's just that the shows that are organized are usually pretty subpar and mediocre and not really comprised of people that are at all big in this scene. So it kind of feels pointless to me, at least I should say. And maybe I'm a hater, but that's the
well, also they're all on the East Coast.
Yeah,
like
which in fucking us West Coast cells, that's a fucking brutal reality.
Yeah, so kind of gets in the way of things.
Yeah,
I mean, those are all really good points, honestly.
What's your opinion then, Loser, on them? Do you enjoy them? Do you think they're the next step for the scene, or what?
I don't know. I mean, I am sort of new to the scene, so I'm not like familiar with all the like setup and all the stuff that goes into that. It's but I feel like it's a good idea because I don't know, something about a live show. It just like there's energy. There's like more community in that, I feel like.
I get that entirely.
Yeah. So I guess it's like more of an ideal, more of a dream, but I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, I'd love to.
We got to organize one of those, dude.
I'd love to go to one. Me and Hart have both said that we'll do our best to make it to Steak Fest, which is going to be happening sometime in November. If Watermark could ever get a date scheduled for that.
The
Good
date
Lord.
is gonna. Yeah, we definitely need that to happen.
Yeah, like ASAP. Plane tickets are getting more expensive by the day.
Yeah, especially with the whole Thanksgiving thing. Like, you got to kind of, you know what I mean? So, but anyways,
he's really got to get a lock on that. But
it happens. It happens.
Yeah, hopefully it'll happen, and hopefully we'll be there. So that'll be cool.
Hey guys, check the E-CEL social medias for a selfie of me and Ofig standing next to each other, full faces, not blurred at all, showing everything, holding our IDs too with our passport and our social security. No, actually, get ready for a selfie with both of our faces scribbled out. It's gonna be awesome. It'll be a great thing. It'll that'd be cool though. We got a link, dude. That'd be awesome.
Oh, totally, 100%. Loser, hopefully you could make it out there too. I know we've only just met.
This guy.
Yeah, probably not. Well, I'm. As you said, I'm a West Coast cell. I'm up here in Pacific Northwest, so it's a little bit of a trip over there. to the East Coast.
Well, I live in the
To-
Pacific Northwest too, and I'm going.
Well, yeah, but you're like a
And I live in the Pacific Northwest too.
Yeah, okay.
you literally don't.
No, what are you talking
I
about,
don't
dude? I'm NorCal all the way.
Yeah, all right.
Maybe if I've been in the scene for longer, like in the future, I'll make some sort of trek out there. But yeah,
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just I know there's a map recently posted to Reddit saying like, oh, here's where all the scene is,
So mad about that.
and that map is entirely wrong because every single guy that I talk to is from the East Coast, but on that map it says, oh, they all live in California. That's just not true. You look at the guys who live in
Yeah.
California. It's all these. I mean, I'm not trying to be mean here, but a lot of them are just like literally who's, you know.
Yeah.
right.
Who is that? And also, why am I not in the California section? I'm not even on that list at all.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, that's like your whole brand.
Yeah, they didn't have Heartbreaker. They didn't have Not the Proper Attire. I don't know about the people making the list.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm the. They call me the Cali kid around here. I don't know why I'm not there. You know.
Yeah, but in my experience, it seems like most of the scene lives on the East Coast, and that's why all the events are
Yeah.
held over there. That's why everything that's live goes on the East Coast. But yeah, so maybe eventually there will be a West Coast thing. Who knows? But
Yeah, fingers crossed.
I've always dreamed about that, a West Coast show. I mean, I know for a while the only West Coast artists were me and Willow. So it definitely would be cool to see fucking a sign of life around here. You know what I mean?
it really would. I mean, Hollow
it's
did a
just me.
tour. Hollow did a tour where he came over to the West Coast, but it wasn't really. It was just like his thing. It wasn't like he was organizing something, you know.
Yeah. It's
But-
funny how many are from fucking Brazil though. There's like 13.
There's an odd amount of people from South America in this scene.
Yeah, there's actually a crazy amount of South American Incel artists. I think it's just they all live in like favelas over there. They're all very depressed.
I guess so. A bunch of true cells. It's just a true cell factory down there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, Loser, is that all that you wanted to cover then, or?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, all right, very good then. Yeah, it was great having you on, man. I'm glad that you accepted the second place prize. When I announced that was the second place prize, I really didn't want somebody to get it and be like, "No, I don't want to come on your dumb podcast." It'd be kind of a humbling experience to have to say, "Yeah, and
Give me your fucking money.
yeah, literally. But
Yeah.
no, this was
But yeah, thanks for having me.
yeah, totally. No, it's great to have you, learn more about you and your music, and as I said before, we'll be watching your career with great interest, man. So we hope to see you on more comps. Hope to see
Yeah.
you release some more songs more frequently.
Yeah, for sure.
All right then, man. Take care, and yeah, good luck.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, what a fucking guy. Am I right?
Yeah, no, it's great to finally have him on here. I think interesting character, you know. It's like I said, I love his aesthetics. So it's
Oh yeah, the Luigi shit is awesome.
well, I feel like it's been kind of a little while since there's been a dude who like has a strict theme that he keeps to, you know, like on the scene.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. Usually people, I mean, you know, Fred had his Garfield thing, but most of the time people don't really stick with a gimmick. So I think his whole Luigi thing is cool. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I was super surprised to hear that he'd only been making music for a short period of time.
Yeah, that shocked me too. His show's like pretty like high quality. It's like really well written.
How long had you been playing guitar before you released like your first like what you would consider your good songs?
Well, I started playing when I was 12 and I made my first Heart song when I was 15, so 3 years. Oh no, 2 years.
Was your first Heart song like I said, would you consider it like really good or
Oh, well, Addison was my first song, and I think that song's like,
that one was your
I mean,
first song? That one's isn't that like one of the most played?
yeah, it's my like third most popular all time, or second, I think.
Wow.
But yeah, I don't know. It was my first song. I guess I came out the gate swinging with it. But yeah, I don't know. That was because I mean, to be fair though, I had been making music beforehand. Like I had been practicing making music with like other smaller projects. But yeah, that was my first song like in that style for that account, and that had been maybe my 2.5 years after I'd been making music. So yeah, or I've been playing guitar.
Wow. Well, very cool. Yeah, so he's on the way. A little bit of a prodigy maybe.
Yeah, I mean, shit, we'll see. I haven't seen someone that good since like I don't know. Actually, I haven't seen someone that good that fast in a while. I think Copers is like one of those guys that kind of gave off that same energy, but they fell apart.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a little
but yeah,
different too, since that was a band. But
yeah. But Singular Dude, I don't know.
we need to know, when's the Loser X Heart song coming out? You've posted the demo already, but
I think I'll just like make an entirely new thing. I have a cool idea for something. So, and making songs like quick collab songs are kind of like a walk in the park. So that'll be cool. Him and I will do something dope. Hopefully, people don't call us gay or something. That happened with me and Death Tech when we collabed. It's like a curse. I always get called gay when I do a song with someone. Fried Tech. There's it's not a good look. But
well, if you tell everybody to not call you gay, then that's for sure will make them not
100%.
do it.
Yeah.
So
If I'm like, guys, whatever you do, don't call me gay. They will 100% respect that choice and leave me alone.
Yes, it's a good thing you're saying that here.
Yeah, of course. Broadcast it to thousands of people.
Yeah, watch this be our most popular interview now, right?
that'll be brilliant. Yeah, guys. Stop counting H4rtbrkr. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. Great guy. Cool time. He's just really nice to talk to. He's actually not as like awkward as I thought he'd be.
Totally. Yeah, no, he did great. But that's gonna then, I guess, sort of conclude our interview. Hart, if you want to go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you, your socials and stuff. And if you have any upcoming projects that you'd like to share, go ahead and announce them.
Yeah, well, you can find me on Instagram at Heartbreaker, spelled H4rtbrkr, and you can find me on Twitter at Punished Heart, this time spelled Hart. And yeah, that's I got an album coming out hopefully later this month, early next month. But yeah, it's also my birthday tomorrow. This has been recorded on August 11th, so note that down. Remember that. And yeah,
I'll tell everybody to wish you happy birthday in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Late happy birthday.
yeah, everyone. This episode's coming out a week later. Wish me happy birthday retroactively. Thank you. It'll be appreciated.
Okay, so yeah, and for the audience then, also me, you can follow me on SoundCloud, you can follow me on YouTube, just at ofigs for both of those. Used to be able to follow me on Twitter, but I was banned, so can't do that anymore. But I will eventually make another account. I need to buy a burner phone. I need to get back on Twitter, man. I was doing so good.
Dude, rip ofigs, man. The hood is in tears today.
Yeah, it's a rough day, but
absolutely in peril.
Make sure you guys are all following the podcast here on YouTube and on Twitter and on BitChute and also on Spotify. So follow us there also. Join our Discord server.
Yes, sir.
And then last little announcement here, we also have our merch store, our E-CEL merch store. Please be sure to go check that out. There's some great pieces in there. We have a promotional poster that was made specifically for the E-CEL Motel comp. So please make sure you guys purchase that as well. It's a great poster. I have it. I'm looking at it right now and it looks awesome. So make sure you get yours. But otherwise, guys, I guess that's it.